Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the heart block to our home porch quilt. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification. Come on! Alright, first we're going to take all of our white blocks and we're going to draw a line on the diagonal, just straight down the center. I've got all that done. Now using our diagram in our pattern, we're going to take our big square, we're going to lay one down. It doesn't matter which one you do first. You're going to stitch on the drawn line. Then you're going to trim it off, fold it over, give it a good press. Then you're going to use the other one. And why is that so big? That should not be that big. Oh, haha! Make sure you got it going the right way. Okay, this is much better. Okay. It never fails. Actually, look at your pattern. So, we're going to line this up. We're going to stitch on the drawn line, then you're going to trim, fold, give it a good press, then you're going to lay the other square down. That's a lot better. We're going to do that one, and then both of these we're going to do exactly the same way. We're going to stitch one down, trim, fold. Basically, you're making flying geese. And you're going to do this one. I'm going to take that to the sewing machine and just make sure when you're placing these that you make sure that you have them turned the right way, okay? So on your top two, you want the whites to go towards the tops, and you want the whites on the bottom to go towards the bottoms. Now, if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I like Elmer's glue, whether it's a glue stick or just, this is just a little teeny tiny bottle, and I really like it. So I'm just going to put a few drops . Just kind of press it down a little bit. Give it a second to dry. I'm going to do this other one the same way. Sorry, y'all, my husband's in the kitchen cooking. He has got on this baking spree, and today he's going to give homemade pretzels a try. So he made some homemade hamburger buns the other day, and oh my gosh, were they delicious. Now for any of you that are new to quilting and you're like, oh my gosh, she's putting glue on there, you're gonna cut it off anyway. Now on this big piece, what I might do is I'm gonna stitch on the line, but I may scoot in a little bit and stitch a second stitch, so that way I will actually have a half square triangle to just keep in my stash and use whenever I need to. So I'm gonna take these to the sewing machine and be right back. All right, so here we have them. Let me trim our threads. I just kind of chain pieced those. I'm gonna throw this one back under the machine and I'm gonna move in a little bit and stitch along that line. Okay, so for this one, I'm just gonna stitch, don't know if you can see that or not, there's the line that I drew, and then I gave it some room, and then I stitched another line there. I'm just gonna cut in between those two. Tell you what, let me use this. It's not gonna quite be 1/4 of an inch, but it'll work. So now I have an extra, well, forgot about that. And it's just Elmer's glue, so it'll just wash right out. So now I have an extra half square triangle. And these I'm just gonna trim, just using my scissors. Now, if for any reason you're not happy with your stitching right here, before you trim this off, go ahead and rip it out and start over. But I'm happy with it, so we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna take them to the ironing board and I'm gonna press these open, and then we'll add our other squares. Okay, so we have our heart coming together. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to place them. Now, if you wanted to make some smaller half square triangles, you could do the same thing I did on this big one down here. But it would give you little tiny half square triangles. And again, it's just Elmer's glue. So when you wash it, it comes out. Oops. Okay, I'm going to stitch these first because I glued them first, and then I will grab this one, and again we're just going to stitch on the line. Okay, so let me snip these apart. just going to trim. And this big one, again, I stitched 2 seams. Take all these to the ironing board. So we have the bottom of our heart and we have the tops. So now we're just going to take these 2 and we're going to stitch them together. 1/4 inch seam allowance going right down here. I didn't get those quite lined up right there. If you're not picky, yeah, just keep going. But I think I am gonna take these apart and restitch that real fast. Okay, let me show you. All right, now I'm gonna line these up. And I should have done this in the first place and I just rushed and didn't. But I'm gonna lift this up and make sure that they are laying side by side. Just going to take a pin and place in there. And then that's just okay, let's try this pin. Okay, that's much better. All right, now let's give it another try. All right, I like that better. So now we're just going to take our top of our heart and we're going to lay it over the top here. I am going to go to the ironing board and press this seam open so that it'll kind of evenly lay. Okay, I've got that pressed open. Now we're just going to attach it using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Alright, so here we have our heart. Now we're just going to put our red border around it. Alright, I'm going to put my sides on first, and then top and bottom. So I'm going to take all this to the sewing machine and be right back. Now I'll take it, put some backing on it and some batting inside and bind it, and there is our heart block.